or what's coming to your thought?
The world, Chico, and everything in it.
Where's the black man's government? Where is his king and his kingdom? Where is his president, his country, and his ambassador, his army? I'm protected by the ancestors. Voodoo runs in my bloodline. Don't tell me nothing about the damn devil. Yeah, cool, got you fearing you. No religion, but I'm spiritual. The man used it as propaganda to divide us all. I'm just giving truth. The earth in fear with the black man. The earth in love with the black man. Even down to fashion. They take the culture, then cash in. What you know about Gary Morgan? What you know about Richard Spikes? Your luxury car wouldn't have a shift. Your intersection wouldn't have a light. All praise to the black woman. See, without her, you wouldn't have a life. Have respect. Find yourself disrespecting her, then we at your neck. You don't want us in America, then return back what we did for her. You would have nothing on this blood soil. You all spoiled. Matter of fact, we was here before you. Your history books full of falsehood. You can't educate us. We know you dropped crack in the hood to blow our families up. It didn't detonate us. As you can see, it didn't separate us. All it really did was elevate us. You can't kill the original people of the earth. Is you fucking crazy? I am a god in the flesh. I got the blood of a slave. Look at the black on my skin. A beautiful color of shade. Don't be discouraged to say black is black gorgeous. Black is black flawless. Black is black power. I am a god in the flesh. I got the blood of a slave. Look at the black on my skin. A beautiful color of shade. Don't be discouraged to say black is black gorgeous. Black is black flawless. Black is black power. I'm Nat Turner with the smoking gun. Change the comb when the sermon stop. The pastor telling me to keep praying. Life telling me to buy a Glock. The news tells us it's our fault when we shot down by the cops. We're witnessing a modern day lynching. No ropes when they tie the knot. Look at you trying to buy a watch. Look at them from the buy your block, then put you out. Starbucks on your corner, that's how they push you out. Then raise the price. Grandma lived there for years, every day of life. Now she forced to undersell. The system built for you to stay confined. I am a god in the flesh. I got the blood of a slave. Look at the black on my skin. A beautiful color of shade. Don't be discouraged to say black is black gorgeous. Black is black flawless. Black is black power. I am a god in the flesh. I got the blood of a slave. Look at the black on my skin. A beautiful color of shade. Don't be discouraged to say black is black gorgeous. Black is black flawless. Black is black power.
Peace and love to everyone under the sound of my voice. Welcome to another powerful discussion with your sister, Dr. Maat. Tonight, family, I have in the building my students from MSU. We're going to have a bill tonight. We're going to be talking about anti-intellectualism that exists in the black community. It's a lot of misinformation, disinformation out there in these YouTube streets, and not even just YouTube, man, all over social media. And I felt that I wanted my students to help me unpack this topic. Why? Well, one reason is because I feel like I'm moving into the era like of an OG, right? Like to them, I would be considered an OG, right? Like, and I feel like I'm at a point where I've touched thousands of students. Every semester I teach at least between 75 and 100 students. I've done so for 12 semesters. So you do the number, okay? You do the math. You know, 2 semesters per year, 6 years, 12 semesters, anywhere from 75 to 100 students. So I've literally have interacted with over 1,000 students, and that's not to include other programs that I have, right? Like the MELTREK program, which has been sold in 30 states and 10 countries. Also, the Conscious Ingenuity program, where, oh my gosh, that's a K through 12 program that's in several schools in Baltimore City, as well as a couple of private schools, private institutions. And so if you count my summer camps and my students, I've touched thousands, okay? Literally thousands. I've interacted with thousands of students. And so I'm at a point where I just feel like let the students teach. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's okay for the teacher to sit back, right? And let the students teach. I want to shout out to my audience family in the building. I see Wig Williams is in the building. Wig Williams says, greetings. I see the Queen Mother, a beautiful mind, is in the building. She says, peace and love to everyone. Peace and love to you, Queen Mother. I see the Queen Mother, Almina, is in the building. She said, good evening, family. I see the other, look at all the Queen Mothers. Man, boy, you know you're doing something right when the Queen Mothers have your back. I see another Queen Mother in the building, Virgo Venom. She says, Black Power family, shout out from Indianapolis. Peace and love to you, Queen Mother Virgo Venom. We also have, I see my Baba Gregory Turns is in the building. He said, Hotep to you, Baba. B1, Black First family. He said, we definitely need to hear this message. Absolutely. Peace and love. So, family, make sure right now that you thumb up the video. Take a moment out to thumb up the video. You know the way the YouTube algorithm works. The more you engage, right? The more you engage the video by thumbing it up and leaving comments, the more that it gets circulated, on YouTube, right? It shows up on folks' feeds because they feel like you must want to see this video, right? So make sure that you thumb up the video. Also, family, share the video. Share the video tonight. We're going to be dropping a lot of information. I titled it Dr. Maat Students School Young Pharaoh and Other Anti-Intellectuals in the Community. And we see a lot of that happening, in the community. So peace and love to everyone. Make sure that you share the video. I see Akil. Peace and love to you. I see brother Akil is in the building. Now he says peace and love family, but is this brother Akil who does hystematics? Is this brother Akil who does hystematics? Let me know. Or is this another Akil? Let me know. Let me know. Is this another Akil or is this Akil that does hystematics? Because I know two Akils. So I want to know which one is who. And my eyesight is terrible. I know you got a profile picture up there, brother, but you kind of look like the other Akil. All right. You kind of look like the other Akil. I see E. Muhammad is in the building. Assalamu alaikum to you. Assalamu alaikum to you, Muhammad. All right. Wa alaikum salam. Wa alaikum salam. Peace and love to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, he said he's the other one. All right, brother Akil. All right, brother Akil. So that's cool. So I'm going to bring on my students without prolonging this thing. Ali, you got to cut your camera on, buddy. I can't add you to the screen, brother. I can't add you to the screen. Go ahead and unmute your mics and say something to the people.
How y'all doing, everybody? My name is Alfred Murdoch III. I'm a sophomore electrical engineering major at Morgan State University.
Beautiful.
Hi, everyone. I'm Logan Samuel. I'm also a sophomore in electrical engineering and computer engineering major.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Colin Carr. I'm a sophomore majoring in electrical engineering.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ahizo Jali. I'm a senior majoring in electrical and computer engineering at Morgan State University.
Beautiful. Ali, you're going to have to cut it down a couple of notches, brother.
Oh, sorry.
My brother got the mic up. And then Logan, my brother, he said, he's like, hold up, brother. You gotta just cut it down the mic a little bit, brother. But no, thank you so much for joining the panel. I just want to say that this bunch right here is just an honor to serve as your instructor. I've had the honor of instructing some of you since EEGR 105. I think, Logan, you took me for EEGR 105, 202, and also 221. Mr. Carr, how long? This is your second semester with me or third?
Third, since 105.
Since 105. So we've been together. We've been trucking for about a year and a half, right? And Mr. Alfred, this is your second semester with me, right?
Yeah, this is my second one.
Mr. Ali?
This is my first.
This is your first. Hold up. Did we have a finesse in the building? Mr. Ali, were you one of the ones that don't take Bailey? Were you one of those ones, Ali? Tell the truth now.
No. Well, I heard it, but I just so happened that I worked a lot, so I just had the opportunity now to take your class, and I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
Okay, no, and because that's word on the block. Don't take her. She gives quizzes. Homeworks, exams, projects. She sticks to the rules. She has high expectations. She comes and talks about life every day. Don't take that, professor. We don't want that, right? No, we don't want that. We don't want that. We want the professor who's just going to pass us along, because we know that students take the path of least resistance. But I always tell you all that finessers end up finessing themselves, right? And I'll always stress to you that, you're paying for this education, right? You're paying thousands of dollars to come to this institution to learn a hard skill or hard skills that you will be able to utilize later on to feed yourself and to feed your family. So when you go, you want to take the best of what the school has to offer. You don't want just folks that are going to pass you by. You want to take professors who are going to challenge you and ensure that when you walk out of those doors, you walk out as a competent engineer. That is your job, and that's who you want to take. All right. And shout out to the professors at MSU who do that. You know what I mean? Shout out to the professors in all HBCUs and colleges who do that. But that's what you want. That's what you want. So I always say finesses end up boomeranging themselves because they'll leave out. So they may take the path of least resistance. They leave out. And when they leave out of those doors, you can't finesse through the world. You know, when you get on those jobs and someone is paying you $100,000 to solve a problem, and you can't solve the problem, you're out of there. And that's just the way it works. You can't finesse yourself in the world. The world is competitive, okay? And you can't finesse yourself through life. You can try, but it won't end up well. So anyway, I'm glad to hear though, Ali, that you're enjoying the class. Before we get started, what are your thoughts on the class? And I'm gonna bring in Brother Bobby West. I see that he's backstage, and I'm gonna bring him in. And all of you have seen him, especially if you took me for 105. He's the brother that comes in and does the African contributions to STEAM presentation. So, Logan, did you ever have an opportunity? I think you sat in on one of his presentations.
Yeah, I came in.
Okay, and Carr, do you remember him?
Yes.
Okay, good. Mr. Alfred?
I think he was on a Zoom call last year as well, last semester.
Okay. All right. Good. But question. So what about my class? I want to know, what are your honest thoughts about my class? And like you said, and I want to start with really the people who took me for 3. I think Carr and Logan 3 semesters, and Alfred 2, Ali 1. So Carr and Logan, I want you to tell what is it like being a student in my class? Because I don't take me, right? So I just come in, I'm me, right? I don't take me. You take me. So what are your honest thoughts about
any class that I take with you is never different. Like the energy, the attitude, the knowledge. So that's my favorite part. Like I always say, when I leave your class, it made me want to get my life together. Like you ever just talk to somebody and it's like, wow, like this is really real. Like especially on I think it was Wednesday, where you were telling us 3 principles we should wake up and abide by every morning, was to be a decent human being, be a free thinker, and to move with a purpose. And that's a lot of things that we don't hear. No one really tells us. So that's one of my favorite parts. And you're real. So sometimes we gotta hear the truth, and it's not held back just because of your profession or maybe your opinion. But everything is open.
Ashe, appreciate it, Logan. Mr. Carr, what's your thoughts? What is it like being a student in my class? Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love the challenge that you bring to the classroom. I love the energy that you bring to the classroom each and every day, the consistency and everything that you do, the thoroughness at which you teach, and not only that thoroughness, but the holistic approach you take to teaching us, not only just as engineers, but as people. And like Logan said, keeping it real with us, having those real conversations with us about the world, and making sure that not only we're educating ourselves, you know, with the information of engineering and being electrical engineers, but also what's going on in the world around us. So I absolutely love every aspect of your class and you as a teacher.
Ashe. Alfred, brother Alfred.
Yeah, I really do love your course. I think it's amazing. I love the way that it's set up. I love how you allow us to read through Zod books, and then when we come to class, we come in with questions, and then you explain it your version, and you give us many different perspectives on topics, which I think is really good because when you go into the field, you're going to be introduced to so many different people in so many different cultures. And I think that your class is just really welcoming. And yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Brother Alfred. And I do call you all brothers at times, right? Brothers and sisters, right? Like brother, right? It's not always Mr. Sir. It's you know, because it's a family. Like we're a family, you know, and I want you all to understand that yes, you are my students, right? Like, okay, you said professor, student, yeah. But at the end of the day, I try to cultivate, a family oriented environment, so and so, make sure you help so and so. Yeah. All right. When you all have a project or you have, an exam, make sure you all get together and study. Make sure no man is an island, So just trying to cultivate a family oriented environment as well. Brother Ali.
I feel like in your class, I have a better understanding of the material itself. As I was going into signals and systems, I was told, hey, this is going to be hard. You won't understand what's going on. With your class, it feels like you're in the 21st century with the technology age. We do things on Zybooks. All these slides are online. We have Sean's outline, which you went ahead and told us to go ahead and get, which I use. So I really is nice to know that, hey, all that news I was hearing about it being the hardest class and actually understanding most, if not all the material. So it again gives me better confidence within my engineering degree. If this is the hardest class, I should be able to finish everything else with either excelling at it or at least understanding it as well. So I do appreciate that too.
Ashay. Ashay. We have brother Bobby West, Mr. Bobby West, and you all are familiar with him. Is that correct, Logan? Everybody's like, yeah. So where you know him from again, Logan?
I think he presented something for 105 for one of our Thursday sessions last
Yes.
semester.
Do you remember what he presented?
I can't say
Look
I
at.
do.
Car, help out, Car. Do you remember? Car is stuck.
If I remember correctly, he presented on the origins of Steam
Come
and
on, good
giving us
job.
a bit of that insight into where Steam actually originates.
Beautiful, beautiful response. And Alfred's like, yeah, yeah, that's what we know. So welcome to the panel, Mr. West, brother Bobby West. What's going on with you, brother?
How you doing, Dr. Bailey? I had to change my icon there. I wanted to make sure I had to get,
I
man,
saw what it was when you first logged in.
I just wanted to get this right. And how are the brothers and sisters doing today? How y'all feeling?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm feeling
I'm
good. How about
great. Thank you
yourself?
for asking.
We're doing
Yeah.
well. Thank you for
I,
asking.
I heard y'all take on Dr. Bailey. It's much harder being a friend.
Mm.
Mediocrity is not accepted in her circle. She doesn't have time for that. You have to, it's a give and take, and you have to be always wanting to raise your game. And I think that's important for y'all. You are who you hang around.
Come on.
And that's the best thing I can tell you based off my life experiences and the things I went through. You are who you hang around. If you're around a bunch of bums, you're gonna be a bum. If you're around a bunch of drug dealers, you're gonna be a drug dealer. If you're around a bunch of educators, you will be an educator. And I've been through different phases, just for the record.
Same
And
here.
I've come to the conclusion that you are who you hang around.
That's right.
And so mediocrity is not accepted on planet Earth. Has nothing to do with your color of your skin, none of these things. Just the human experience itself. The forces and pressures that nature will exact on you does not allow you to be media, just regular person. You can't be that. You will always lose that game. So being in her class will prepare you to be exactly what you're supposed to be, above the level. Because that's what your ancestors was. They fought to be above the level. And we're all charged with that, and we all have a responsibility. First to ourselves, then to our family, then to our community, and then to planet Earth. In that order exactly. So yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. I'm sit back and enjoy the show and just have some fun to be around intelligent brothers and sisters. And see, Doc, I feel good because I know we will be in good hands.
Absolutely. 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 And brother Unc, I was saying before, when I first went live, we're at that point, brother Unc. We've been teaching and touching people for a minute. I'm talking about thousands. So sometimes as a teacher, you just want to sit back and listen to your students teach. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just want to sit back and listen to them. And so tonight I titled the show, I said, Dr. students school young Pharaoh and other anti-intellectuals in the community. And so I want you all to look at this video. I'm going to show it to them. They haven't seen it. This is the first time they are watching it. And I want you to. It's two things that he said in this video that were that he said a lot that was inaccurate, but two things that I want to address. But I want you all to listen to it. Listen to it first. Here we go.
To the good
Not
sister,
to,
Dr. Oya Mayat. Let's go to the tape.
First of all, I'm a blast Dr. Mayat. Dr. Mayat. Here's Dr. Mayat. Let me show y'all a picture real quick. Okay, family, y'all see Dr. Mayat? Now, Dr. Mayat is not a real doctor. Dr. Mayat only has a certificate, a doctoral degree in electrical engineering.
let's stop. Let's pause there. Let's pause there. Not a real doctor and has a certificate. Let's pause there. I just want to pause. Not a real doctor and has a certificate. What are your thoughts on that when you listen to that statement? You're not a real doctor and has a certificate. So I said, damn, this brother don't know. First of all, he doesn't know that you can get a doctorate degree. He doesn't know what it means to possess a doctorate degree. He doesn't in engineering. They call it a DE, a doctorate of engineering degree, or a PhD in engineering. I think in his mind, he thinks that doctors are only like medical doctors. And so he doesn't understand that you can get like a doctoral degree, right, in math or English or any subject for that matter. I think that, but I mean, you all may have a different perspective. And then he said a certificate. So I said, okay. So brother Alfred, quick question, Mr. Alfred. When you heard that statement, she's not a real doctor. She only has a certificate. And then he said a doctoral degree, a certificate. Like he kind of mixed up a lot of stuff. Hold on, let me play it one more time. And then we'll pause it and you tell me your thoughts.
Same exact thing to the good sister, Dr. Oya Mayat. Let's go to the tape.
First of all, I'm a blast Dr. Mayat. Dr. Mayat. Here's Dr. Mayat. Let me show y'all a picture real quick. Okay, family, y'all see Dr. Mayat? Now, Dr. Mayat is not a real doctor. Dr. Mayat only has a certificate, a doctoral degree in electrical engineering.
Let's stop. What are your thoughts on that when you heard it?
So honestly, I think that was really just a shot at all of us who are working extremely hard in order to get that certificate. And I think that, you know, I mean, in life, there's always going to be haters. So, and there's always going to be people who always try to downgrade success. And I think that it helps make us, us as people more driven in order to just do better in life. So, yeah, honestly, that's my first reaction. I was really just like shocked, and but honestly, it didn't really faze me because I know what this degree can do for me and my family, and yeah.
Carl, what's your thoughts, man, when you watch that clip?
Um, my thoughts are along the same line as Alfred's and yours as well. It's could be a bit of him not understanding the weight that the degree carries and not fully knowing what he's talking about, and just that lack of understanding, and also just you kind of get a sense of aggression from him, and he just is, I don't know, I don't want to say in his feelings because I feel like there's a better way to say it or a more eloquent way to say it, but he's not necessarily thinking through what he's saying and really taking the time to stop and think, well, what is an electrical engineer? What is it that they do? What is the weight of the degree or the title that they carry, and especially the degree that comes, or the weight that comes with the degree that you hold, Dr. Bailey, having a doctoral degree in any field carries a lot of weight, and so uh, I just don't necessarily think he understands what it is that he's really speaking on.
Absolutely. And we're going to jump into that. Like, what is an electrical engineer? We're going to jump into that. Miss Logan, what are your thoughts when you heard that
I
statement?
I agree 100% with Alfred. But I was also kind of I guess embarrassed that normally when you speak on certain topics or certain issues, you want to educate yourself or research everything that's involved with it. So when he was speaking, it just seemed like there was a disconnect between those two phases. Um, you don't walk around and just see everyone with the electrical engineering degree. A lot of things that are worth it, you really have to work hard for and put a lot of effort into. So definitely not a certificate. That's a degree, and that's definitely worth it.
Absolutely. Mr. Ali.
Well, when he said basically you only have a certificate or only have a doctorate, that really does undermine how much work goes into a PhD. That's about 8+ years of work. And just to say you only have this, you only have that's like saying I only have $50, even though uh, you only have $50, even though I only have zero $2 in my account. You can't undermine something you never were able to achieve yourself or able to just do. It's a lot of work. So he's definitely trying to take a shot at you from the work that you've done and the accomplishments that you have achieved.
Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. Mr. West, did you want to chime in or you want me to keep on
Absolutely.
going? Okay.
Don't leave me out.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr.
I
West.
think I think these intelligent students are grossly misunderstanding what they're actually seeing. This guy was 100% serious. Look at the look on his face. He wasn't even throwing a shot. He thought he had an aha moment. This is why it's important to continue to do what we're doing, because he really thinks that. And this is the part that's frightening, that he has thousands of people that think just like him and follow him. He's an influencer. Thousands of people. 3,000 people will be on the live listening to him and amening them half to death. They don't have the tools. He's actually ignorant. And that's not even a negative thing. He just does not understand the subject matter. And so it's our job to make sure that no child gets left behind.
That's right.
It is what it is, and to nourish that understanding and to push forward to make sure that our community is represented at the highest levels. But he was dead serious and he meant that, and he thought he had an aha moment, and he has convinced other brothers and sisters around your age and his age that what he was saying was correct. And being as though y'all in school, y'all actually don't have time for that. But trust me, your peers are out here saying it. TikTok, I know y'all go to TikTok at times. The misinformation is rampant on
Absolutely.
all subject matters, from religion. They can't even get the religion thing right. I kid you not. They can't get the religion thing right. They will never get the science thing right, because to get the science thing right, you have to actually be in your position. It takes study and time and effort and book work. Like, I got some great books right here. These are great books right here. This is the War on Science. I also got one on the immune system, and I got one, Richard Dawkins and Yang Wang, The Ancestor's Tale. You would have to read literature like this, stay on top of the game. But yeah, man, he's a dangerous guy with that misinformation, and misinformation will be our downfall as a
No,
community.
no, absolutely. And Mr. Hicks, I see you in the back. And Mr. Nasir, I see you, but you got to be stationary. Y'all are moving around. I can't add you to the screen. You're making me dizzy. You got to be stationary. All right. I see you, Mr. Jonathan, as well. You all got to make sure you're stationary. All right. Before I add you to the screen, you got to be stationary. All right. So let me play a little bit more.
Okay. So the only thing Dr. Mayat should be talking about is helping you cut your lights on in your house. There's no way with that.
So you heard what he said. The only thing I should be talking about. So in his mind, he considers, he thinks that an electrical engineer is an electrician. Okay. That's what he believes. And as Brother Bobby West said, as Brother Bobby West stated, he has thousands of people who believe him. They actually don't know the difference between an electrical engineer and an electrician. So hold on,
Okay, family, y'all see Dr. Mayat?
hold on.
Now,
Play the
Dr.
whole thing.
Mayat is
Play the
not a
whole
real
thing.
doctor. Dr. Mayat only has a certificate, a doctoral degree in electrical engineering. Okay? So the only thing Dr. Mayat should be talking about is helping you cut your lights on in your house. There's no
Okay, so I'm gonna get this fool off the camera. So I got to get this fool off the camera, brother Unc. So I want to ask my students, and I see you. Welcome to the stream, Mr. Nasi. How are you, brother?
How y'all doing? I'm good.
Good, good, good. All right, so I want to ask you all, could you talk about the difference? Like, what is an electrical engineer, and what is an electrician? Could somebody take that?
Well, from what I understand, electrician is basically somebody who works on electrical issues relating to homes and maybe small businesses and such. Electrical engineers work on designing those systems. They have a bunch of different subfields such as computer programming, embedded systems, cybersecurity, microelectronics, and et cetera, et cetera. So there is a wide difference between what they do and what electricians do, what electrical engineers do. Not to disrespect electricians, but
Right.
electrical engineering takes courses such as calculus and such, derivative differential equations, a bunch of different other topics such as Ohm's law and such to consider. Electricians, I know, have to be is more of a trade that they go to through a journeyman cycle as well. But there's a noticeable difference in what they do, and yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
agree. As an electrician, your responsibility is to help repair, help troubleshoot, and help correct electrical systems. But who's creating these electrical systems? That's the background work of an electrical engineer. So they definitely have a different, I would say, skill set as far as the knowledge that they need, as far as safety regulations and building codes and electrical theories. But as an electrical engineer, um, keywords right off the top would definitely be design, install, and manufacture. So that would be with any electrical circuit, any electrical component, control systems, motors, power networks, generation machines, and stuff like that. So we do it from the top to the bottom. We design the systems, we're testing the equipment, we're planning and implementing these systems, designing prototypes, models, and all that. That's all. That's the huge difference. We we definitely work hand in hand, and all professions are definitely valuable, but there's definitely a difference between the two.
Brother Alpha, you want to jump in? Car?
Yeah, I think the main difference between an electrician and an electrical engineer is that an electrician works with already existing electrical systems, while we or electrical engineers actually have to design and design new electrical systems. So when we design new electrical systems, we actually hire some electricians in order to make this design a reality. Um, so that's really the main difference between the two. And I don't think that it's really, um, I don't think that it's fair to really see them as the same because they're not.
No, not at all. Lastly, Mr. Carr. Mr. Carr, we can't hear you if you're talking. There you go.
My apologies, I was muted. I agree with Logan and Alfred that we as electrical engineers, we do a lot of the fabrication and design of these systems, electrical systems, from all the everyday devices and appliances that we all use, the computers, the machines, everything that goes into those systems we develop, we plan, and things like that. Whereas electricians will work on maintaining those systems at either power plants or home or in office buildings. We do a lot of that fabrication of those initial systems that they end up doing a lot of the maintenance work on. and we even do some of the optimization, or not even some, we do the optimization of those systems over time as well. So they eventually have to go back and learn how to, do the maintenance on those new innovative systems over time as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And let me ask you all a question. Oh, go ahead, brother. You wanted to chime in?
About $200,000-$300,000.
Mm.
Difference. Pay scale. Time in schooling. That's the
Come on.
difference.
Come
Yeah.
on. Yeah, time
Mm.
and schooling. Absolutely. So let me ask you all a question. What type of classes do you have to take to get your degree, your bachelor's of science degree in electrical engine. Well, you're doing electrical and computer engineering. What sort of classes do you all have to take in order to just get, that degree? I'm not even going to get in. I'll get into the doctoral program, but just to get through, your program, what type of skills do you have to possess? What type of classes do you take? Could you all expound on that for the people?
Um, we have electric circuits. We took
Classes do you take?
C++ course. We have signals and systems. We have electronic materials and devices, digital logic. Alpha, is there any more? Did I forget any?
Um, I think
And
it's
that's just so far in the sophomore
yeah,
year.
And the advanced maths as well.
Yeah, please
yeah,
expound on that. Please
yes, man.
expound on that.
So we're taking
So
oh, sorry, go ahead, go.
I was just going to list off the maths that we
Mm.
are required to take. We're required to take and pass all these classes, which are our calculus 1 through 3 courses, our differential equations courses, and there's also the statistics course that we have to pass. And for those of us who choose to take linear algebra, that's also another course that we can take as well for advanced math.
Hmm.
Mm.
And I just wanted to add in, when you get into your specialization, the specializations could be computer science, computer or computer engineering and such. It would take maybe some introduction to networks, introduction to cryptography classes, some computer architecture classes, some Java or C programming classes, or Java and C application classes. A bunch of other classes that electrical engineers can have, or electrical engineering has a subfield in. So a bunch of different classes there, as well as a physics requirement as well, physics 1 and 2.
Yeah, and one thing that I just have to add is that with all these classes, you need really good time management. Um, I know that with being in college, there can be a lot of noise in the background, and I think that it really just takes a lot of discipline in order to really pass these classes and really get a full understanding of every single topic that you're taught. Because one class always feeds off of another. So
Absolutely.
you're always going to need those topics. So yeah.
Yep. Got to be focused.
Absolutely. Got to be extremely focused. And I'm glad that you all drove home the higher level mathematics that we are required to take. And it's no disrespect, but we not over there taking college algebra to get our degree. I'll let you know. I'll let you know, always going in on the business majors. But I'm just saying, we're not taking college algebra, over in the School of Engineering, right? Like, our students have to take the higher level mathematics, because when you are designing and analyzing circuits, it requires knowledge of higher level mathematics, namely calculus and differential equations. You have to know that stuff in order to even design electric circuits, right? And so, I mean, I don't think that people understand what go. You know what? I'm not even gonna say people don't understand. Obviously, people do, because that's why we're only 5% of
Mm.
engineering. If getting an engineering degree was easy, everybody would have one. 80% of Black kids go to school to get a business degree. 80%. Only 5% of us get engineering degrees. I think they said only 5% of engineers are Black. 3.6% are Black males. 1.2% are Black women. And this is engineering as a discipline. So can you imagine if we just hone in on electrical engineering, or we hone in on mechanical or chemical or systems or industrial or civil, or it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. You probably in some of these fields looking at 0.1%. So, so I want to say people don't understand it, but I want to say people do, because they stay away. They stay away from engineering because it takes discipline, it takes focus, and it takes knowledge of higher level mathematics. And that's what actually stumps a lot of people. There was a stat that came out from Pew Research. They said that 40% of people in their sophomore year get to their sophomore year and they change their majors from STEM majors to non-STEM majors because they can't get through the math. And that's what stumps a lot of our people. They can't get past the math. And so they end up going to either the business department, or they in IT, right? Information technology, they go over there, or they'll try to switch to like computer science and think that it's easier over there because it's less math. And so I'm glad that you all drove home what it takes to get your electrical engineering degree. And it's a lot. It's a lot of time in the lab. You all have to produce projects. I don't even think you all spoke about the projects that you have to had to create. I think for 202, what was the project that we gave you last year for EEGR 202?
Yeah, we had to create a device that was able to detect heat and light. And we had to use 3 different op amps, operational amplifiers, and a lot of MOSFETs, and a lot of different components that we haven't even touched yet. So it was a really good learning experience, and that's actually one of the reasons why I really like your class as well, is that you expose us to things that we have never even that we haven't even learned yet, so that we will be prepared in later classes.
Absolutely. By the time you all get to EEGR 317, you're going to be able to say you saw all of that. You saw MOSFETs, right? You saw MOSFET, you saw LEDs, you work with motors, right? You work with thermistors, you work with photocells, right? You work with op amps, right? Transistors. So you all will be able to say that. Logan, did you want to jump in?
No, I just wanted to mention that we started talking about some of these things in materials and devices. And he was kind of surprised to hear that we had already learned and even built a circuit with these components. And in just conversation with our professor, he always says that no one comes from another engineering major and excels in electrical engineering, but another electrical engineering major, like a person in an electrical engineering major, can go to another field of engineering and excel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know a lot of people during the pandemic, they gave credit. Everybody praised doctors. We praised truck drivers, doctors from hospitals and all of that. But I said, thank God for engineers. Because guess what? People were able to still meet with their families via Zoom. Okay. I think another one is Google Meet. And then another one, it's a whole bunch of sites, a whole bunch of platforms where you can stream online and meet and save. That's engineering. An electrical engineer, I guarantee you, the people who created Zoom have electrical engineers on their staff. The cell phones that we have, you wouldn't have inside of your cell phone, crack it open. It's a circuit inside of your cell phone. Your laptop, crack it open. It's a circuit inside of your laptop. The microphone, the computer, the desktop computer that I'm operating right now, circuits. So they said, thank God for doctors and truck drivers. I said, thank God for electrical engineers, the people who created the internet. We created the internet, these social media sites. You think Mark Zuckerberg and them who created Facebook, you don't think they have engineers on their site? Or Google, that's Alexa, give me this. That's engineering, specifically signal processing. So you wouldn't have Alexa, you wouldn't have Google, you wouldn't have emails without electrical engineering. So it just kills me when people kind of downplay what we do. And like you said, Logan, what you said was powerful. That we electrical engineers, we could go into any other engineering discipline and excel, but they can't come to our discipline. They can't come to an EE and excel. Brother Onk, did you want to say something?
I think this whole discussion is important to get the young babies interested in it, and hopefully we can raise the levels of African American students to the point where they're very interested in STEM, because it's very interesting just to hear this. I'm learning a lot of all the disciplines and what it takes to become an electrical engineer, and all the facets. I know NASA. I can just start to imagine these things. As soon as I heard y'all say certain things, I understand how certain systems they use, what they're going to need, and so I think it's a powerful tool what y'all working on, and this type of live actually will get the babies interested in that. It's not just plain old boring STEM. It really isn't. It makes the world go round. I just think that's important.
No, absolutely. And so I want to move into the anti-intellectual movement, brother Ankh, that's taking place in the community right now. You said it perfectly. When you and I were on the phone, we were talking about certain social media influencers. I'm sorry, who have huge audiences, and like you said, brother Ankh, people follow these guys. People follow them. They're calling themselves thought leaders, whatever that is. They're calling themselves they call themselves thought leaders, and they have these, like you said, brother Unk, they push the button, they go live, and they have an audience of 1,000 to 3,000 people that they're feeding misinformation and disinformation to, you know. And so I wanted to ask my students, are you all aware of this? Like, do you, when you're navigating, the internet and social media sites, do you come across these influencers that when they say certain things, you're like, I don't think that's accurate? Have you come across any of these individuals?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
Yes.
that always comes with like social media as a whole, or like anything. Whenever you speak to somebody, whenever they tell you something, you should always go back and do your own research.
Hold on. I didn't hear you. My static in my earphones, Mr. Alpha. You gotta say that again. Whenever somebody does what?
Whenever somebody tells you something, you should always go back and do your own research because you always want to get a better understanding um, for yourself. And I think that that's something that a lot of my generation and younger um, really need to understand um, about learning. That's a part of learning. And, just take information and just go with it. Um, so yeah.
Beautiful. Anybody else? Logan.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Alfred was saying. You said something that resonated with me on Wednesday about just knowing that if people feel like they can control your thoughts, they can also control your behavior. So these people are listening to his thoughts and they're reiterating what he's doing as well. So now everyone's thinking the same way. So no one will
Absolutely.
ever re-educate themselves or research or take the time to actually teach themselves about the topic.
Absolutely. Anybody else? Car, I see you want.
Yeah, I want to bring it back to the what Alfred had said about social media being a big engine for pushing misinformation. I know Dr. Bailey. I know in 105 I had mentioned a documentary I'd watched on Netflix called "The Social Dilemma," and these engineers who had designed these applications, social media from the ground up, uh, they explained the way that the algorithm that they developed works, and so it continues to feed these people the information that they believe is correct, and so they're not thinking through these things and thinking, hey, let me go and do my own research. Let me go and see what the other opinion may be. And because these systems, all they know is what these systems are pushing out to them. Because, like the one of the principles you live by is to be a free thinker, and that's not what they're doing. They're allowing themselves to fall deeper and deeper into that rabbit hole rather than coming up for air and being a free thinker and just getting away from the algorithm, trying to break free of it.
Ashe. Mr. Hicks, I see you shaking your head. Welcome to the panel, Mr. Hicks and Mr. Jonathan. Did you want to chime in?
I actually wanted to add on to when it comes to the algorithm. Uh, I it's actually very difficult to leave the algorithm sometimes, especially on media like YouTube and Instagram, where if you view the same thing over and over again and like similar videos, they're going to keep showing you those videos no matter what different videos you start to view, because they want to because they will always assume that you'll still like this sort of media.
Facts. Absolutely. Mr. West, did you want to chime in?
Yeah, good book. Deaf to Expertise: The Campaign Against Established Knowledge and Why It Actually Matters by Tom Nicholas. Great book. Take a look at it. And I actually like to watch out for terms like thinking outside the box, free thinker. You need a little structure. The reality is, in the classes you take, the best classes have structure to it, structure with flexibility. I think that's important too. But this misinformation campaign actually has transformed inside of the internet. And so humans weren't really ready for this. They have no mechanism in place. Like you said, the algorithm gets you. And so with all that going on, what tool is it that we can use to determine whether somebody is presenting us with misinformation? We learned during the pandemic, misinformation can be dangerous and can actually cost your life. So yes, scientific literacy is a vaccine against the charlatans that come amongst you. Scientific literacy will determine who is lying and who is not. Some things are just strictly for YouTube or strictly for Facebook. They don't work offside. They don't work outside of that. The career path y'all taking will work outside of the internet all day, every day, meaning it has practical application to it. And this is what we're talking about. A lot of these people who promote the misinformation, they're the only ones that can benefit from it. Okay? I'm talking about from all of, I'm gonna say it again, from religion, from the misuse of the word science, all these topics, they're the only ones that can actually benefit from that. You can't benefit from it. You could not take the things, the misinformation that they're teaching and actually apply it. Like the whole vaccine conversation. Dr. Bailey helped me out in that. She presented, she gave me some powerful slides that actually, swayed the whole contest. And the reality is that if you don't have scientific literacy, you will absolutely be in trouble. And so we're fighting for that. We're pushing for that. And so the misinformation campaign, the algorithm, you're fighting against that. So we have to give people tools to fight against this. Like I said, the pandemic, you swear some good elderberry and some good garlic would fight the coronavirus. You would swear this and you would swear that it was killing us. And so in a position like that, in a moment like that, when we all were in fear, like science is counterintuitive. So in these moments, your common sense actually fails you, because common sense tell you that, hey, Tuskegee, there was an experiment, and most people get that wrong, and they inflicted that on people that look like me. Why would I trust them? The actual campaign, Operation Warp Speed, a horrible name to pick in the middle of a pandemic when we don't even understand the magnitude of the enemy, right? And we're saying Operation Warp Speed coming out of Donald Trump's mouth, who said you can take some bleach. We like, whoa. So what tool could you use to understand that, one, Operation Warp Speed was a horrible media tool to use, right? If they was to do it again, they wouldn't name it that, because at no point was that vaccine made in warp speed. At no point. But the words that they used, right? The pushing, the prodding, the miseducation. Most people won't even sit in Dr. Bailey's classroom like you. The juvenile detention program, 80% of people that get to the juvenile detention program, 80% of them are illiterate. 70% of people in prison are illiterate. Most people we walk around They don't have that capacity or that dedication to do what y'all doing. And so they was very vulnerable in our community. And not to mention the amount of grassroots organizations that had claimed for years, right, to protect us and give us proper information was all talking about taking fruits and berries and that's going to get you right. So then at the end of the day, since you're the one that will pay the price for making that mistake, each one of us are responsible to be scientifically literate so we can pass it on to our families. Matter of fact, Dr. Bailey I debated the largest anti-vax community.
Did you?
In the world. Mm-hmm. Okay? And that conversation I had started with my family down in Mississippi. And I was like, man, they going through it. They really don't understand. They really think if you take now this is before the coronavirus came out. And I was saying, man, they actually think if you get the vaccination against the flu, which most of us don't take, that when you get it, you're going to get the flu. People think that. When the truth is, it takes about 2 weeks or so for that thing to, cause the proper immune response for it to kick in. And so in that whole time period, you could actually catch the flu. But a person who don't know that think that, man, I just took that shot and I got the flu. It's just misinformation all across the board. And STEM is a powerful tool for the Black community. We got to keep pushing it. We need to have more students that look like you in these classrooms.
That's right.
More literacy. Why? The more people push for literacy, the less people we see in jail. I'm trying to tell you right now, when you're looking at TV and YouTube and people running around there shooting each other because you stepped on my foot, that person is ignorant to the power of a gun. That person is ignorant to what it means to take another person's life and what it means to lose life out the family. The literacy level and the way you act, it's right there. So, yeah, I'm going to always respect brothers and sisters that's in school. I'm going to respect that, whether it's college, whether it's just to learn a trade school. That's still education. I'm going to respect that. And it's up to y'all to push that to y'all family. All day, every day, get on their nerves. The same way you would if you thought you learned something about a religion, you would push it hard. Push the STEM. I just want to put that out there.
No, I appreciate that. Mr. West. Miss Eastman, what are your thoughts? Because I saw you typing away in the chat and I saw you in you were backstage for a minute, but you didn't have the camera on, so I didn't want to add you until you were, situated. But what are your thoughts about the things that you've heard?
As I was commenting in the chat there, I completely agree. Some of my peers, close friends, tell me that I'm really brave for continually taking your course because I choose to be properly taught, as I stated in the chat. I don't want to take the easy way out, and with engineering, there truly is no easy way. It's like it's something like you always tell us: you can't finesse the finesser. So as much as you want to try and show up, and if you don't actually apply yourself and become, as Mr. West is saying, literacy in engineering, it's not going to work. You can only fake so much. You can only get to a certain point until you hit that differential equations, until you hit that KVL, KCL, and until you hit those extra circuit courses that I haven't even gotten to yet, where I know that the things that I'm learning in your classes versus another course where it would have just been, sit back and just take the good grades for work that truly isn't being applied to.
Absolutely.
So I definitely agree. And I was just having the same conversation with my sister, and it wasn't even in the aspect of engineering. It was in the medical field, but I guess it's still STEM. I go into a doctor's office and I feel like they're just like, oh, well, okay, your back hurts. Here's some Tylenol. But in engineering, you can't do that. You can't just, oh, well, your circuit's broke. Well, here's another resistor. Just throw it in there. It doesn't work like that. You can't just fix your problems with just throwing a little pacifier at it, in a sense. So I definitely agree. There needs to be more push for Black education in STEM as well. There's just so much we can just be doing more. I could go on, as you can see.
No, I mean, you had the floor. You had the floor.
Yeah. I'm a mom, so pushing STEM for me means more. Pushing education, period, for me means more. So that's probably why I'm so gung ho on really knowing your knowledge, really not just knowing it, but truly being able to speak on it. So yeah, that's just that's just where I am
No,
right now.
no,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no, absolutely. And I'm with you. I forgot the bar. It's on a rap song where I don't know if it was Jay-Z, one of them talking about how you can't pretend but for so long, basically, and then you get exposed when you get out there, because you can't, like you said, engineering is just not one of those fields where you can just talk your way through it. You got to show and prove. You got to demonstrate your knowledge, that you're knowledgeable. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have to demonstrate your knowledge. And it's project based, it's hands on. And so you can't just talk your way through a problem when you when you get out there. You're gonna have to show and prove. And so again, and I always say that my class is for only the brave. Like, it's like the army commercial. It's for the few and the brave, because I'm gonna give it to you, but I'm gonna give it to you the way you're supposed to get it. And make it rigorous for you, and make sure that when you leave my class that you know what you're doing. In fact, people in 300 and 400 level courses, professors have said that they know when a student have sat in my class. They said they could tell the difference. And I said, well, that's a problem, because regardless, I said, that's a problem. I mean, I appreciate the compliment, but I said, that's a problem, because it shouldn't matter who these students take. They should go into it. They should be getting the same rigor, regardless of who they take. And so you shouldn't be able to say, oh, that's a Dr. Bailey student right there. No, oh, that student must have took so and so. It shouldn't be that, in the department. That's a us problem, not a you problem. But Mr. West, did you want to chime in? Did you want to say anything? You think we hit it?
The trials. You know the trials we face. When I came into the community about 15 years ago, they thought I was crazy for promoting this type of thing right here. What is he talking about? That's the statement I hate the most. That's the white man's science. That's the worst thing ever. And it's almost like somebody played a trick on us. Like, you'll hear this permeate through the black community. We're the most spiritual on planet Earth. But you'll never hear them say, we're the most intellectual. We're the most scientific. The question is, and I challenge all y'all, why would that be? Why was that passed down from generation that we the most spiritual? Right? I'm saying, generally speaking, we never speak in absolutes, but generally speaking, there's a theme in our community of anti-intellectualism.
Come on.
That some kind of way you can't be highly intelligent and be spiritual at the same time.
Come on.
Like we're not intelligent enough to separate the two.
Come on.
We can talk about church and Jesus Christ or Muhammad or Buddha, whatever you feel, or Ifa, and then deal with a mathematical equation that will give us a good grade in Dr. Bailey's class, and no two things are separate.
Separate.
They tell us, no, we're the most spiritual. And if you start doing that, that's the devil. Now, that science gonna trick you, lean on the wisdom of God. Like, wait a minute. You do not build strong culture and strong civilizations off of just spirituality. No. That has never happened. In 2023, we're in a space age. And I'm just gonna get straight to it.
We are.
We're in a space age. We have Stone Age brains, so we all spooked out. I get it. I don't even say much. But the reality is, the more we do what y'all doing, the more successful we gonna be. It's some kind of way, it's gotta be a shift from the most spiritual to the most intellectual. And then each and one of you, as you have families, you figure out where you strike that balance at. I know how I struck the balance in my household. Personal thing. Okay? But man, we gotta stop this. Our cousins and them, everybody gets spiritual once they get old. They get super spiritual when they get old. When the truth is, we need to be more intellectual.
Come on.
And we won't find ourselves in these situations. We all gonna die. Get some daggone life insurance. Stop being afraid of the thing that's gonna happen Take care of that. You know, the time you spend in school. Matter of fact, your body, your brain, and all that, it wants you to take the path of least resistance. Study the brain. It absolutely, your mind, the way your body works and functions, it wants to burn as less calories as possible. This I promise you. So when you hear about, oh, that's a hard class, you got to run to that.
Come on.
Because it's going to have you prepared. That way, when you get into the field, man, you prepared. And you rise to the top. This is essential for us to go out into our communities and just promote literacy. Promote not only literacy, but scientific literacy. Because guess what? This is what I learned after going through the different stages, the Nation of Islam, all that stuff. I don't know if y'all got there yet, because you know we get the guy. Matter of fact, I'm going to show y'all something. This is what I got, right? This was about 30 years ago when I went down to the University of Eastern Shore. My homeboy, he gave me this. This is the first thing I got. This was his first year in college. This is what he gave me. Y'all, yeah, any of y'all ever seen this before?
Black Athena. I've seen it before. Dr. John Henry Clark talked about it.
Okay, it was first, because when you get to college, they have all types of conversations now, don't they, ladies and gentlemen?
Absolutely.
Oh, man, you be a Muslim, Christian, all that get you, all kind of stuff going around, right? A lot of that stuff misinformation. A lot of misinformation, and I'm not a Christian, but there's a lot of misinformation on Christianity. You be like, oh, I'm gonna leave. You leaving Christianity on some misinformation about Christianity. Man, look, pump your brakes, right? You end up running into some spaced out cult and don't even know it. I know, I was there. Okay, so everything is based around education. The religion you practice, educate yourself on it. Know the real thing about it.
Right.
I'm telling you, before you leave your little religion, right, and dive into some nonsense, spaceship, the Anunnaki, the crystals, listen, I'd rather see y'all be good Christians or good Muslims and read a book, a Quran or Old and New Testament than say y'all run out here with these nuts. I promise you. And people hear me say, they're going to say, that's weird. You don't even know. I'm saying get educated on what you're doing, and that way you can make an informed decision on what you're doing.
That's right.
Okay? So, yeah, I'm going to stop right there. I don't want to, you know how we do.
I know.
I can have a little more fun. This ain't the class. The class, when I'm teaching class, I got to be like this.
I wanted Mr. Jonathan to say something. He joined the stream, but Jonathan, you didn't say anything, man, because we're going to get ready to close out.
I just wanted to bounce off of what Dr. John said about, like, one of the things with the engineering program is it's going to really teach you to be an autodidact, right? Like, you talk about how you felt uncomfortable, like being in a class and not having seen the material in advance. That's what I always try to do. Like, I don't want to be dumbfounded in class. I don't want my brain to be a black box when the professor is talking.
Exactly.
And so, like, I always make sure to, like, look at the material beforehand. And that's what being an autodidact is. And also, like, that's going to help with the misinformation that Dr. John was talking about, because you're going to be able to be a self-learner. You're going to be able to
Dr. Who?
Is that what's the name of the? It's not Dr. John.
No, you talking about Brother West?
Oh, sorry. I thought I heard you say. Sorry.
That said Mr.
Don't
West.
make me a doctor.
You called him Dr. John. I'm like Dr. John.
I was John Henry Clark. Let me stop playing.
Sorry, Mr. West was talking.
How you doing, bro?
And so that, like,
somebody's phone is going off. Somebody's phone.
Once you're a self-learner, you're gonna be able to filter out what's good and what's not.
That's right.
And I think STEM helps a lot with that. And also, once you do STEM, you become very uncomfortable with people babysitting you, right? Like, when I'm in the lab and, like, maybe I have a partner showing me how a circuit works, and he just tells me, oh, plug in this wire here and plug in this here. And sometimes I'm just like, don't tell me, like, I want to reproach him. I want to almost like rebuke him, because I'm like, help me figure it out. Let me figure it out for myself first. And then if I don't understand it, you can break it down for me. But I don't ever want to be like, I don't want to be babysitted, basically.
Yeah, I mean, with STEM, and I hear 100% with you. I hear 100% with what you're going to say. And I always say this to you, Mr. Jonathan, and to the rest of you. I always say, you all are the professors, right? I said, I'm only here to guide, and assess your learning. That's all I am. I say you are the professors. You should be able to teach yourself at this point, right? I always drive that home. You should be able to teach yourself at this point, at this stage in the game. I know that by title I'm professor, you're student, but you're really the professor, right? You all should be autodidacts. We talk about that a lot. Also with STEM allows you to develop critical thinking skills. That's what I love about STEM. In order to do it, you have to develop critical thinking skills. And we know that critical thinking skills affects your decision making and your judgment. So a lot of people make poor decisions and have poor judgment because they lack critical thinking skills. All right. And one thing, and like I love what you just said, Mr. Jonathan, about that STEM develops those skills. STEM helps you to develop those skills. I can tell you, man, I think we will be a lot better off, in a society where a lot of these charlatans in the community or anti-intellectuals, they wouldn't even have the audience that they had if people in general develop critical thinking skills. Because people would be like, what? Oh, this is nonsense, and cut it off. Boop. But you see how this show have about 70, 75 people watching. But if we was talking about aliens coming down tomorrow or people flying through the air or some spaced out stuff, it'd be 3,000 people listening to us right now. You understand? And so that really tells us where we are as a society, right? When it comes to that. So you have channels that promote, Black intellectualism or intellectualism. We can take the color out of it. You have channels that promote that, but that's not the channels that get the most traffic. It's the channels that promote anti-intellectualism. They're the ones that get the most views. But that goes to show you where we are as a society, right? You know what I mean? Where you have that phenomenon happening. And so again, I just want to reiterate that these anti-intellectuals, they wouldn't have the audience they had if the people had developed critical thinking skills. And so that's why I'm at a point, Brother Ankh. I focus on the youth. I focus on the babies. I have K through 12 programs because that's what my focus is, to develop critical thinking skills within our young people, because I know that translates to other areas of their lives. I don't have time for the shenanigans. And so that's where my focus is on. It's on the youth, cultivating the youth. And so anyway, family, right now, take a moment to thumb up this video. A lot of you came in. You didn't thumb up the video, so thumb up the video. Also share this video. If you're on Facebook, post a link. If you're on Twitter, tweet the link. Sharing is caring. Okay, let's get the word out to the people, because this was a dynamic discussion with intellectuals on a Friday night, Brother Ankh. And I applaud these young people for being with us. Even I told them I'm gonna give them a couple of points. I had to, with young people, you gotta bribe them.
That's the world we live in.
Brother Ankh, when it's kids, it's candy. As little children, I give you a piece of candy. When it's college students, it's either pizza, right? You bribe them with pizza, or you bribe them with extra credit. It's one or the other.
Ain't needed in your class.
Yeah, he said they need the extra credit in my class. Absolutely. So I said, I'll give you all a few points if you come on and, you help to edify the community. So they was like, all right, I'm there. So they came on. And so I do appreciate you all being with us tonight. Do you all have any closing words for the listening audience? I'll let each of you close us out with something you want the audience to take away.
I just think the biggest thing to drive home with all this is that is to just do research on everything that you learn. Everything that you hear is not true until you do your own research in order to find facts that prove it. So I think that's really just the biggest thing.
Beautiful. Mr. Carr.
I would say that, and also don't shy away from the unknown. Don't be afraid of what you don't understand. If anything, that should invite you to want to research whatever that is that it's unknown to you. It should intrigue you. It should make you want to understand it, because that's what other communities do. That's what they do. If there's something they don't understand, immediately they're on it to go understand it to as best they can and research it. and then see how that can benefit them, their family, their community. So I would say do that bit of research, be curious of the unknown, and just don't shy away from challenges.
Ashay, Miss Logan.
I always say that there's two types of knowledge. One of them is knowing the information, and the second one is knowing where to find it. So please just educate yourself and don't be ignorant to the capability of your own mind.
Beautiful. Miss Eastman.
My takeaway is always apply yourself, always go for that extra challenge. And when you feel like you can't do it anymore, push even harder, because the only limit is yourself. And that box that you're in, you put yourself there. So you get yourself out. So just keep pushing and you'll get it. You'll get there.
Beautiful. Mr. Ali.
I'll just reiterate one of your life tips that you give in class: spend less time on social media and read more.
Absolutely. I always tell them, brother, get off social media. Y'all on TikTok. I said, doing these crazy dances. I said, get off TikTok. I said, get off TikTok and get those books. But thank you so much for that, Ali. Mr. Jonathan.
I would just like to encourage the people on the stream who have children to push them in STEM, because we don't want to reinforce the stereotype that the Black community is just full of people that follow. We're also leaders, we're innovators, and we want to be at the forefront of the advancements of the 21st century.
Beautiful. Mr. West, last but not least.
I ain't gonna get up here and start crying. When I met Dr. Belvin,
They know my other name. They know.
Years ago, I seen this vision. Like, the vision was to get scientific literacy in the community. And I knew she was the one to do it because she had the credentials. And I say, man, if I can convince her to rock with me, we will produce something that will produce something that would end up like this, looking like this. Because I knew the conversations that I was having online and listening to the foolery and the nuttery, it wouldn't produce nothing. It was nothing that these people was talking about that would actually put them in a situation where they were talking to students that will one day be the next generation of doctors that would inspire babies. I knew nothing of what they was talking about. The Phil Valentine, the Bobby Hemmings, the whole 9 yards. The Delbert Blairs, the doctors, all that was a bunch of malarkey. And you know why it was a bunch of malarkey? Because the white community had went through the same thing. We're starting to grow up. When this right here, when y'all sitting up here with brother Bobby West, this community is actually moving forward and you don't even know it. So I'm sitting here saying, man, we rocking hard. Rocking hard. We're having a conversation with the brothers, the young brothers. See, the young sisters. See, when you had the youngsters around, you know you winning. Those old communities that was teaching the nonsense, they getting old. Right? But look at this. Look what we doing. Look what y'all doing. Man, y'all will inspire the next generation of scientists. How great is that? You're really doing, when you think you're doing something for yourself, right? When you fight for yourself, but you fight for yourself so that you can help others. Always, remember this, always represent the change that you want to see in the world. You charged with it. You got an idea, you are charged with promoting and pushing that daggone idea. I'm gonna end it with that.
Beautiful, beautiful. Hold on. I should have, brother On. Where your sound effects, brother On? Don't you have your sound effects?
Which
I
one
usually
you
have
want?
like a bomb or something.
You want a bomb? Where your bomb at?
Let me see.
I don't got no bomb.
Oh, here we go.
I got
Oh man, I wanted when you were when you were talking, I wanted to play this for you.
Speak your speech. Speak your speech.
I ain't gonna fool around. I got a whole bunch of sound effects. I ain't gonna do it. But I do want to thank each and every one of you. Mr. Alfred, Mr. Carr, Mr. Ali, Miss Logan, Miss Eastman, and Mr. Jonathan, Mr. Bobby West, for coming on. This was a beautiful build. And you young people could have been everywhere, anywhere tonight, right? You young. I just know, brother Unc, where I was at 21, 22. I was down the Paradox like this on Friday, like this.
Not the Paradox.
We were Hammer Jacks. Look, Hammer
Hammer
Jacks,
Jacks.
Paradox.
Oh,
Everybody like
man.
I was like this on Friday night, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And now, man, Friday night it's like I'm getting ready to go chill, read a book, have a glass of wine, and kind of kick back. You know, that's what I'm getting ready to do. But you all could have been anywhere, but you were here, right? And, you know, having a great discussion that's going to inspire many and edify many. And so I give thanks for you. You still have an exam on Wednesday.
Oh, man.
So make sure you all prepared for the exam. You know, I have 2 classes are here. So some of these students are in one class and some of these students are in another class. But yeah, you still both of you still have the exam. But I am going to hook you up with some extra credit points for coming on today. So I appreciate you, Brother Uncle. I appreciate you, Brother Uncle. We going live tomorrow. Are we going to do a part 2 to anti-intellectualism? We're going to do a part 2, you and I, because I ain't want to go in and I ain't want to name drop while they were on and kind of go in.
I'm great.
I wanted to keep it clean, but then tomorrow we go all the way in on some folks.
Yeah, well, I'm about to go live in a minute. I'm going all the way in, so you
going all the way. You going
view at your own risk.
You doing Sinetta University?
Sinetta University.
Okay, I'm going to tune in. I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna tune in, and then tomorrow what we doing?
We doing it. You know, that's what we do. We inspire the intelligent conversation. Let me finish this part though. This is important. Y'all kind of talked about how, you know, the types of information is in our community, but we got to know at the highest levels it's promoted. They promote the foolery. The conscious community is now thoroughly entrenched in the African American community. Now, the TikTok and the YouTube has pushed that foolery right in front of your face, like the Breakfast Club and stuff like that. They put the fools on the show, the misinformation, right? The herbs and the spices guy to tell you they got the greatest cure ever, but ain't took it through the scientific method, so we don't know whether it work or not. We don't know. The conversations, how do you tell if the conversation is at the level or not?
Facts.
You know, everybody have a dream. The thing is, how do we know who's having the right dream?
Come on.
You know, everybody can hear voices and talk to the dead. I just want to know who got which one is really talking to the dead. Let me stop.
Hey, look, and some people saying drop the link. Rob, what you mean? Just go over to Sinetta University. All you got to do is just
type in Sinetta University.
Type in Sinetta University. Type in Sinetta University. And family, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure that you subscribe. Also, hit the notification bell so that whenever I go live, you will be notified. All right, Alfred Carr, Ali, Mr. West, Miss Logan, Miss Eastman, and Mr. Jonathan, you all have a beautiful Blacktastic evening. Peace and Black power.
We out.
We out.
See you. Thank you, Doc.
All right, peace.
Thank you. Take care.
No problem. Take care. Take care. That was a beautiful bill, family. Thank you all for tuning in. Share the show.
See, I may not know the color of the sand on Mars, but brother, I can tell you why the cage bird sings no matter what the weather brings. 'Cause he can fly. Oh, and so can I.
And even though he cries his tears, the words he sings you may not hear. He sees the sunlight like his own. His soul got him home.
I can't fight no wars for money, ego or pride. I pray one day love becomes the bullet that just blows the world away, and we say freedom. Oh, freedom. Freedom. All the blues and bitter rain, I know that somehow seasons change. The color purple has a way of blessing us with better days. We've got to heal.
Inside of each and every one lies the memories of where we're from. Pyramids amongst the stars is who we are.
Keep in mind the only jail is just the prison of ourselves. The truth lies in our footsteps, so we must never look away. We must pray freedom. Oh, freedom. Freedom.
She's saying freedom, y'all. Freedom. And they're saying it's okay to love yourself. It's okay to love your brothers.
It's alright to love yourself. It's alright to love your brothers. It's alright to love yourself. It's alright to love each other. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to love your brothers. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to love each other. It's alright to love yourself. It's alright to love each other. It's alright to love yourself. It's alright to love your brother. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to love each other. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to love your brother. It's alright to love yourself.
See, this is the type of music I like to vibe off. Peace and Black Power, family. See you tomorrow. Peace and Black Power.